Hello everyone, happy Monday. I can't believe the bit of news that has dropped today concerning Strand Larsen. Quite a surprising story, I'm sure you've seen it, but I'm going to give my opinion on that. Little international roundup, Tolu being the main story, Arakaderi, the new man. And I bumped in to a Wolves player on Saturday, and there's a little story behind that and why that happened. But first, let's get into Strand Larsen. Now, John Percy on this Monday, this quiet Monday of international break, dropped a story that has confused Wolves fans and has confused me a little bit. But let's try and, pick out why this is happening. So, Strand Larsen is in talks with Wolves to sign a new contract, and the Wolves fans are like, well, he's literally just signed like a 4-year deal, because obviously the loan from Celta Vigo triggered. We paid the extra 23 million and he became a Wolves player a few months ago this summer. My thinking is, because apparently in the talks, there's no talks of putting a release clause in like we did with Matheus Cunha, because that would have made sense. Is his agent playing up and wants a release clause in ready for the next window or the next summer window for him to go to a club like Newcastle or someone else in the top 6? But no, I think what's happened is, this is just my opinion, this is not fact. I think because of the way Strand Larsen has actually handled himself in this situation, hasn't threw his toys out the pram, just stayed professional, stayed quiet, was willing to train, was willing to play. He come on against West Ham in the Carabao Cup, scored 2. Yes, he got the Achilles injury and missed out against Everton, but we now know that was a genuine injury because he pulled out of the Norway national team. But I think Jeff Shee here is just rewarding him with more money. I think he's just thought, right, he's our main man. He's committed himself to the club despite having potential of his head being turned, and we're going to offer him some more money, which I don't mind. It shows a bit of intent. Look, if Newcastle come knocking next summer, giving him more money and improved contract, maybe we can ask for more money. Maybe that's their thinking too. But I'm surprised this is happening, and I'm surprised that Strand Larsen is willing to do it. And I think his agents played a blinder a bit here, because there is murmurings. You heard Nathan Judah and Liam Keane, if you listen to it on their podcast, say that Jeff Shee's not happy and Wolves are not happy with them two for breaking the Strand Larsen story about Newcastle being interested months ago. And you've got to think that the person who contacted Liam Keane, this is just me guessing, probably is his agent. So his agent's played a blinder. He's going to get his client more money. He probably wanted him to go to Newcastle, so he'd get more money, and obviously him being his agent would get some money out of that deal. But well done, Strand Larsen's agent, and I suppose well done to Jeff Shee for rewarding now, arguably, our most important player. So let's see what the details are if that does get signed. But Percy has got this story, forever reliable, as we know, and I think Strand Larsen does deserve a bit more money, because in the past Wolves have been accused, especially of recent times, of paying players quite low wages. I think we're down in like 16th or 17th for how many wages we actually pay, so that'll be interesting. Secondly, Tolu Arakaderi, got his name right, scored against Rwanda from about a yard out, barring in, and it was nice to see him score, wasn't it? He says he wasn't match fit, so that's probably only why he played 45 minutes. So let's hope he brings that scoring form back with him. I know Nigeria do play again on Tuesday evening in another African Cup of Nations qualifier. Some other players that played, John Arias got 60 odd minutes, Muller Wolf played for Norway, Doherty got some minutes for Ireland, but again over Monday and Tuesday they all play again. Bellegarde played for Haiti for the first time in a 1-0 win. So plenty of, I think it's the most internationals we've ever let out in an international break. I think it's 15. In other news, Jackson Tchatchoua, who I don't think's played any minutes yet on international duty, he has been clocked as, I think, the 3rd fastest Premier League player in history. You may have seen that come up, and it was against Everton, the one, I think it was first half, when he's bombed it down the right. And he is rapid, and we've got a new Adama Traore on our hands here, and I thought that was an interesting stat, and got an absolute rapid player playing for us at Wolves again. And last but not least, so Saturday, as I said in my last video, went to the Wolves training ground to play in the Content Creators Cup, and as we were trying to park our car, we were told to park in like a school a bit down from the training ground. We was a bit like, that's strange, because in years gone by we've gone through the main entrance and just parked right by the dome. But as we were told to turn back round to go back to the school because we'd gone too far, a Porsche come up the road. I thought, bloody hell, someone's doing well for themselves. Who's this? Dazzling Dave brought himself a Porsche. But no, looked through the window and it was Hee-Chan. And I was like, why is Hee-Chan driving into training? For one, why isn't he playing for South Korea? He just hasn't been selected, apparently. And two, why is he coming to train on a Saturday? So we go in there, obviously start the tournament, speak to a few people, and Vitor Pereira had the whole team in who are left, who are not on international duty, playing in a friendly with all the under-23s and under-18s. So João Gomez and Andre would have been there, and a few others who haven't been called up, and it was we were very kept away from the main entrance, so we didn't disturb them. But interesting that they played a full 90 minutes on Saturday, ready to prepare for next week. And I'm just on that Creators Cup. We got knocked out on penalties by Talking Wolves again. We're cursed by them. We lost in the final on penalties last year. But a great day. I think nearly £8,000 been raised for the Wolves Foundation. Wolves Foundation put it on along with Dazzling Dave, and fair play to Wolves. They let them use the dome to put the event on, and they don't have to, because there's a lot of people in that dome that criticise the club and Jeff Shee a lot. So fair play for them to letting us do that, and as I say, a lot of money raised. But please like the video, please subscribe if you are new, comment your thoughts down below, especially on the Strand Larson stuff, because I find it a bit confusing, and I'll catch you next one. Have a great week, everyone.